Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's good today. Uh, Slightly Slanted Sleuth today, joined with Jack. Jack Freighter from Freighter Why don't you say your channel, dude? I always mess it up.
Yeah, my channel, my much neglected channel is Deus es Veritas.
Yeah, speaking of which, I've been neglecting my channel as well.
Hey, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. I don't really want to be, I don't know, who'd want to be a public figure at the moment? God, do you know what I mean? It's crazy out there, dude. I think
it's crazy everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
So I'd like to say hi to everybody who's here today. Right now, there's 6 or so. Mr. Menza, what's up, brother? From another mother. I haven't seen you in a while. We've got Anisteme. I think that's how you say her name. Used to be Sophia Rise. And Need to Know, what's up, brother? Shoots for Par. Cause or Effect, hello. Glad everybody's here. And today we're just going to talk about life, what we've been doing, a couple musings I've had lately, and some stuff that's happened with Jack as of late.
Yeah, it's been a while, man, isn't it?
Been a minute.
Yeah. You haven't uploaded anything on your channel in ages, have you?
No, I haven't.
No, neither have I, man. I did try and upload one video, but then it didn't complete and go through. I looked at it and I had 31 dislikes and 0 likes. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm not going to put anything out. But I mean, this is why I haven't put anything out there. This is the crux of it. I might as well jump straight into it, Steve. I was thinking about this, and you know, like the whole, I don't know, humanity isn't very good with the law of mentalism. That seems to be our biggest issue. Like that if there's one hermetic law that people abuse most without even realizing it, unconsciously doing it, it would be that one. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, turn your mic up a little bit.
Oh, is it too? Can you hear me now?
Better? Yeah, I can hear you. Can everybody hear him? For some reason, it sounded like it got quieter.
Yeah, that's because I turned it down because I thought I was clipping, but no.
Well, I can barely hear you now, and I'm deaf.
Oh, so. No, it's because I've wandered away.
There you go. You just had it. Yeah, you bounced in and out.
Yeah, I've got
maybe redirect the mic towards you a little bit.
I don't. My mic stand's tiny, but how about that? That might be better.
That's a little better.
What about now?
What about now? Yeah, it's all right. I'm just on a cheesy old laptop. I don't have all the gear you got, so.
Yeah, I got it pretty cheap. It's some German manufacturer, but no, it's working well. But I've got
Sun says your mic is very low compared to mine.
Okay.
It was better earlier.
Right, what about
there you
now?
Go. There you go. Better? Way better.
Okay, I've turned the gain up. Too loud or good?
Very good. I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
So what were you saying now? I'm sorry.
Oh, was I completely quiet in that last segment? No,
you weren't completely quiet. You were talking about.
Yeah, well, it's just when I look at the world at the moment, there's this, it's so polarized, the narratives, you know, it's like the whole, remember when the 2016 election came up, right? And it got supercharged then. It's kind of accelerated from that. The zeitgeist, it's like now the left doing their childhood inculcation attempts. And the trouble is with the right, they keep focusing on it. So it seems, and the left think the right are going to be like some fascist theocracy or something ridiculous. So I don't know. It's all a bit weird out there, I find. And yeah, I've just been laying low, man. That's been my tactic. Just hunker down and weather the storm, you know?
Right. For me, I've been just working my tuchus off and dealing with the heat wave that's here. I'm in middle USA in Minnesota, and it's been 95 degrees here the last couple days. 95 here is pretty humid because there's nothing but water. And yeah, it's been pretty hot. But other than that, the reason why I've been vacant on YouTube is because essentially nothing really to talk about. You know, as far as my personal journey goes, I've had a few aha moments. Like, you know, I've had some pretty major shifts in my thinking in the last year, as you know, and I figure, why talk about things that I can only guess at instead of know about? I guess that's
speculation.
yes, I guess that's the gist of it.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'd like to share today, a couple of things that have been pretty key in my journey as of late, as far as thinking about, like you were just talking about, the polarization of society. And why is that so? You could think of it as male and female. You could think of it as up and down, hot and cold, yada, yada, yada. And I think the friction that is caused in today's society is necessary for spiritual growth. And I think that is such, like you said, how people cannot wrap their mind around the mentalism part of our reality. And, that friction, that in itself, the mentalism versus, the logical, or, the metaphysical versus the physical. And, what is light and what is darkness and what is this and what is that? And I've come to the conclusion, and I've come to this conclusion well before this, that, in that duality we call life, there is but one light, one source, one thing that unites us all. And, this may sound cliche, but
yeah, no, I know what you're on about.
And
yeah, of course.
And I've just been pondering on muses, or musing on the muses that amuse me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man. No, that does make sense. Yeah, I guess in that respect, what I've been doing kind of philosophically in my own contemplations of late is essentially try to prove stuff with Hermetic law, taking fundamental Hermetic axioms and trying to apply them to different collective archetypal energies that are coming and going, and everything's moving and coming and going. That's another Hermetic thing. So, like, if things are tough and difficult in a moment, and it passes, it moves on. If there's anything that the last 2 years taught me, is that you can't break Dharma. Dharma's like some impenetrable super force. So you can break it for so long, but.
And what is Dharma?
Just natural law. It keeps everything in check in the cosmos. It keeps everything on a balanced path. Even though it seems we might be all over the place, the warrior on planet Earth is like, oh, is someone going to nuke the world in the ultimate? And I couldn't give a damn about that whole vibe. It's like, no, it's not going to happen. And famous last words, hey.
No. Right. Right. It's like roller coasters. Why do we love roller coasters when they scare the shit out of you? I think that's, I think we like being scared as human beings. We like the ups and downs of the fear factor of life,
Yeah.
Remember Joe Rogan's old show, Fear Factor?
Yeah, that was his original gig, wasn't it? After fighting. Yeah. By the way, I'm having a Corona with a lime. I don't want to drink it in a kind of clandestine fashion. I'd rather be honest with people and just be like, hey, whatever. I've been at work all frigging day, and it was about 110 at work today inside. It was hot, dude. And but yeah, going back to the things we were saying, it's like, look, let me give you an example of this. Okay. Like if you take Hermetic law of correspondence, right? You can prove that the universe has a death and a beginning. Because if you think about anything physical, anything with the kind of earth quality in Malkuth, anything, it will come to be.
Well, it's like Ozzy Osbourne's new song.
I haven't heard his new song.
You haven't?
But no. What's
the main verse of it is he's not getting out alive. I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out alive. I mean, that dude's still rocking.
That was a bad impression, man. That was all right.
But
do you know what I mean? So
if Need to Know just brought up, I heard they have no air conditioning in England.
No, they fucking don't. It sucks. Honestly, it's like being in California here. It's been so hot, and I don't know. I don't want to segue into that because the media here are like, oh, it's climate change, isn't it? We're all gonna die, and it's like, oh man, leave me alone, go away.
Anis Tammy says, I hope I said that right this time. Anis Tammy says creation entropy. Well, yeah, creation is like you were saying, it is what it is aspect of our existence.
Yeah,
we're gonna live, die.
See, that was what I was. If you go back to my first point, like everything born dies. Yeah, but then there's like bigger cycles of universal rhythm. You know, it's like the death, and again, the law of correspondence is in effect if you think about the 4 seasons, because you have the death in the fall, the winter, the hibernation, the long repose, especially in the animal kingdom, and then the rebirth of spring. So when you start thinking of things along these hermetic axioms, they all really connect quite beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird, but
well, it's the pyramid, right? You come up with all this information, and eventually it leads you to the one, to the top, to the coronation, to the crown, to the Ben stone, to the single point, and you end up realizing that it's all for one and one for all, you know, and that's the oldest mantra known to man, I think.
Yeah, no, it is. It's well. Yeah, see, I think there must be this, in terms of human consciousness, there are these swings in between monotheism and paganism or polytheism. I think they exist on 2 poles in a way, but they don't as well. It's like one's an extreme varying degree of all the others. If you think of all the archetypes, and then they're personified for like and deified in as a god or something like Shiva energy, or
well, isn't polytheism essentially all of the archetypes rolled up into the monotheism?
Exactly, and it's like you can add archetypes together to like or like life experiences as well. So like your spouse and the workplace, they're usually separate archetypes for most people. Those 2 things are separated.
Home life and work life.
Yeah, like your work life and your spouse life, there's not much crossover there, unless you work with your wife or your spouse, your partner, whatever.
Right. Or if you work
unless you work with your birthing person, I should say.
Shut up. Get out of here. Your birthing person. Don't even go there.
No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go. See, this
but what you're essentially saying is metaphysics and physics. You know, I mean, it's just like those 2 polarities, which are here's one of the musings I've had recently. And I was driving down the freeway And
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden the light started blinding me from the windshields because of the angle of the sun on all these cars ahead of me.
Mhm.
And, just all over the place. And, just because I was at that perfect perspective of the light gleaning off of each windshield, or back windshield or back window or whatever you want to call it. And,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself, that's just like every one of us that are under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. So, and in that light that is shining down and shining off of each car is, you know, here's another way to put it. Here's how I don't know where I made this leap, but I watched this video by Arvin Ash recently where he described what a digital camera was, because he was describing the JWST, the James Webb Space Telescope that they finally getting images from.
Yeah.
And he started explaining what a camera is, a digital camera. And I thought to myself, many times I've said this in the past to myself, where we are to God as a camera is to us. It's like we are because a digital camera is light, optics, and sensors. Light, optic, and sensors, essentially what we are. Right? We need light to optically see or to experience, or without the light we wouldn't experience anything, and we wouldn't be able to take in anything to use our, I guess, which is a kind of a generic way of saying it, use our senses to navigate through that. And I thought,
I can play devil's advocate with you on that.
okay.
And I wouldn't have a while ago at all. I wouldn't have had the experiential knowledge to argue this point with you, but I do. So like the other night, I was asleep in bed, and it's like Thursday night, school night, and I was really tired, and like some Jordan Peterson lecture had come on autoplay on my YouTube, because I'm subscribed to his channel, and I make no apologies for that at all.
No, he's brilliant.
Yeah, no, he's great. But anyway, well, we can talk about him later. But so I'm asleep in my bed, and I'm drifting off, and I just get that feeling my whole body, my whole spirit is like charged up. So what happened as I fell, I just suddenly remember like shooting up out of my body, looking down on my bed, then outside my house, then on the local area. Woke up, and then like I'm like, what the fuck? And then I can hear the lecture, and it's like Jordan Peterson saying whatever he says. So I'm like, I didn't bother quieting the phone. I was too tired. I was like, oh, whatever, just lie back down again. And it happened about 6 times. I kept falling asleep and waking up, and every time it's like my spirit like was lifting off, and it's like I burst out of my body and it felt like I was traveling at first up at infinite speed, but then you're just kind of at infinite speed. So some people, there's a sensation of falling. That's what Yvonne said, right?
I was just going to say that to you. Is that what that falling feeling is?
Yeah. To me, it was more expansive. It was initially up as that like initial exponential ramp up begins, then to infinite speed. It's like an exponential curve finally going vertical. And yeah, but here's the point in the story. I knew exactly what was going on, right? And I was fully conscious of what was occurring. And it was very easy to like have a body, and it was very natural and normal feeling. But because of studying Phil's material and Yvonne, it wasn't like, because of that, I knew exactly what was happening in the moment. Right. So anyway, I end up in this black Abyssian space. It's like, and it's not like dark black as the night. There was almost like black with a hue of white noise in it or something like that. So I'm like, oh, I've got to see what's around. I started turning around, and there was nothing there. It was empty. I was like, God damn it, there's nothing here. Like I've come into the abyss, but I'm not in the center of the abyss. I'm in some God knows what quadrant sector on some Cartesian infinite plane I'm at. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So
what you just described there reminds me of a SpongeBob episode when Squidward went into the abyss, but it was just a
yeah.
empty void of nothing. And yeah,
Yeah,
I just thought of that. I don't know why, but I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I haven't seen that episode, but because you said we need the light to experience, and there I am in an experience where there's no light. I'm conscious, I have my mind, and you kind of had a body, but you kind of don't, and you can kind of move about in it, but there was nothing there. It was barren. It was.
I was merely speaking in the physical sense because
I know you
privy
were
to at the moment. I haven't.
It was just.
I've done something like you've done, what you just described there, like falling off a building or something in my sleep, or those feelings of when you're just falling and you wake up going, "What the hell?"
Like in Inception when they do the jump thing. They have to, it's a bit. Yes, it was weird. But the other thing was, this is the other key point that is noteworthy. There was no stopping the experience.
Wants to know, were you in control or being directed?
No, I was in full control. It was completely in. But this is the point I was going to make. I didn't put any intention for this experience to come to pass. None at all. I was just going to bed. It was another school night. There was no I guess throughout my past, I've put intention of experience something like that. And it was like because I kept falling asleep and waking up. It was happening. Like nothing was going to stop the experience from happening. There was nothing I could do to there was nothing I did to make it happen. And there was no way it weren't going to happen. Like it was on, dude. It was fucking on 100%. Like without my consent or nothing, just boom.
Yeah. Lisa says, some say it's the opposite. Dark is truth, light is the illusion. Don't shoot the messenger. Well, I think both are true. I mean, I think the abyss is the darkness that is within each one of us, just like the light is.
It's not dark as in like an H.P. Lovecraft novel dark where there's pernicious evil on the scene, like that degree of experience. But man. That was
I think both are created at that moment of ascension, essentially. Or both have existed eternally before. But I mean, when we just reconnected with it and recreate it, I think. But that's what I was getting at with the light shining off of the car windows. It brought me to realize that, light is just a means in which to experience, and then sense being the sensor part of the camera, as well as the optical part of the camera. We bring it in, and our senses are the things in which we transfigure or transform or recreate the light.
I know what you're talking about in terms of physics. You're talking about like it's critical angle in diffraction, like that's when the light hits water, there's one angle where it is level with the surface of water. And in Britain, in the winter time, if the sun comes out and the roads are wet at certain times of day, you need sunglasses because of the glare off the road. It's like at some critical angle, like everything. But Minnesota is a similar latitude to the UK, isn't it? You're not that much further south than we are, because I'm same level as Vancouver in latitude. So you're not.
Yeah, we're a little lower than that in Minnesota.
Not that far though.
No, not that far.
8 degrees most or something.
I'm St. Paul, Oakdale area is more in the southern central part of Minnesota. Not, there's still a lot of Minnesota above me, I guess I can.
You're southern Minnesota.
Yeah, well, mid to southern. Yeah.
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 Cool, man. Well, yeah, man, I got to decide if I'm going to move back to America. I can if I want to. I've been gone for longer than a year, but I've got another year to apply for a visa to return. So I kind of feel like, I don't know, America just sucks, bro, doesn't it? Like, you get no
Menza
fucking
says
days. You get not. You just get
Menza
no.
says that surprised it's not rainbow colored with all the agendas at the moment. And
Yeah,
then
well, there's plenty
Lisa
there.
says the agendas are just what happens before the fall of empires. Same shit, different day.
Yeah,
History.
it's got that vibe to it. Like, do I want to go back to America when it's almost, I don't know, because
Well, if you're
I'm
coming
like,
to America, you don't want to go to Vegas because they're running out of water. You don't want to go to California because they're running out of water.
Well, it's all right. There's plenty of water in the world. It will come back. But
yeah, I'm not being a doomsdayist. I'm just telling it like it is.
man,
Right now,
really
my grass is
man.
frying outside
Yeah,
because it's so damn hot.
yeah.
Listen to me, I'm worried about my grass, talking about life, afterlife, and more.
Yeah. Well, this is my point with like Mensa on the agendas and the rainbow stuff. Yeah. Oh shit, it's my mum. Yeah, mum. No, I didn't. You can have those other ones. There's the ones Lily cooked.
Duality is a thing, but so is unity then. Avoid Canada, Jack. It's gone for a complete authoritarian leftist shite.
Sorry, that was my mum making a vocal appearance.
That's all good.
Yeah, the mic will pick it up. It's pretty decent mic I've got. But yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, all the agendas. It's like I said at the start. This is why I don't want to like make blogs about it and stuff. It's the mentalism idea. Look, how is the homeless crisis solved in America? Do you know what the solution is? Fucking ignore it. Ignore all of them. Just give them $5 at 7-Eleven and just that's it. Don't think about it. Don't look at them. Like ignore these people out of existence. That's how you deal with it in America. That's how you deal with the home. Yeah, the problem. Well, I don't know if it's worse in Southern California because
it's pretty bad here, man.
I was, but yeah, I can imagine.
There's people camping in tents right in downtown St.
Paul.
Paul, right next to the river.
Yeah,
trash everywhere. It's pretty bad.
Is it get well expensive there now? Like gas? How much you paying?
Well, everything is expensive, but
how much are you paying for a gallon?
A gallon of gas is costing me $4.59 a gallon right now.
Oh, that's still not that bad. I think I was paying when I was there when Trump was in. I was paying like $2.30 or something.
Yeah, here
like $28,
$1.99. We won't get into that either.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. It's nonsense.
Right.
But like I've talked about that before. If the financial system doesn't have a fixed reference point to like correspond with universal correspondence, this harkens back to Walter Russell. All movement moves about a fixed fulcrum. So if all this money is moving in the economy and there's no fixed fulcrum, then it's like a parasite just caning off and caning. That's the way I look at it, you know. But like I said, it would all pass, wouldn't it? It's not gonna.
Well, like Lisa had said earlier, the entropy of creation is such that, the older our system gets, the more it's going to deteriorate and self-implode or self-destruct due to all of the input that is being involved, and just the aging of that system is going to cause it to eventually deteriorate to a point where it's going to have to be rebuilt again. It's like the Phoenix.
When you look at, I was thinking about this earlier, actually, this exact point about increasing social instability in our time. But I was like, think how like stable the Earth is and the moon and the solar system in terms of our lifetime. Like, I don't really see any, and this is the confusion with the whole revelation idea, that it's talking about a cataclysmic event. In fact, that segues onto this.
Well, it is cataclysmic to the ego.
yes, that's a great point. That's a very good point. Um, yeah. No, so I was going to say, no, that is a really good point. I mean, it's pretty deep, but
Well, it's exactly what it's talking about, though, right? I mean, you got to die to the
yeah, no,
world
it's
to be reborn in the light to
oh
recreate that
man,
light. You know, I
yeah,
mean, dying to the world doesn't mean going and shooting yourself in the head either. You know,
mm,
it means internally internalize and transform whatever negative egoistic intent you have and turn it in to it's all for one and one for all, because
right,
until you do that and marry the opposites of our dualistic nature, we're not going to realize. And realizing is in that word itself tells you what it is. You know,
mm,
realize. Are you going to see it with your real eyes? Or are you going to see it, you know, through your fake eyes, your id or the Magog, or you know, Gog Magog shit, you know, all
mm.
of it. You can just interrelate it
Yeah,
all.
no, it's interesting.
Yeah. So go on. I'm
Yeah,
sorry if I
no,
cut you off.
no, it's fine, man. So I can't even remember what I was. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, so it was like I've got this habit now that I never had. Where I'm sitting on YouTube watching crap, flicking through stupid short videos. I think other people might have experienced this, where you suddenly find yourself wasting time on your phone, flicking through these shorts you
Yeah,
just
I
do
think
not
every
care
one of
about.
us are guilty of
Oh man,
that.
uh, I mean, I haven't got a TikTok, but I guess it's based on that whole model. But so anyway,
Yeah.
this clip of Neil deGrasse Tyson comes up, and this dude's like, right, he's like, I'm so done with religion because it says in Genesis the earth was created in 6 days, 7 days, whatever. But and then he goes on to say, but we know from calculations that the universe took billions of years to condense before the earth could possibly be formed. And I'm like, bro, like, and then he so that was his first point he made. And then the next point he adduced was that the book of Revelation talks about all the stars falling to earth. He's like, we know from observing the cosmos that all stars won't fall to earth. And I was thinking about this because that stars falling to earth experience is it's like your soul launching off, or your spirit launching off. I even think it's more like your spirit launching out of your soul, like it's kind of rocket ship, and it's weird, it just went,
Is
there
that
was
why the
no
elite of Hollywood are called stars?
no, because the stars fall to earth. So I get you, I get
Well, we
hey,
personify
maybe,
everything, right?
hey,
It's just like the
maybe,
Bible is a personification of all of the stuff in us. I mean, are we doing that? You know, are we spiritual beings having a human experience, or human beings
yeah,
having a spiritual experience?
bit of both, I'd say. There's both. The
Depends on
fact,
your perspective, right?
well,
Just like the camera in our hand. Where are
yeah,
we
not at work
pointing?
though. At 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, I don't feel like the spirit. What were the two options? Spirit. There's what did you say again? What?
What? Metaphysics and physics?
Yeah,
Or
you were talking about
spiritual and
are we
physical, or infinite and
spiritual?
finite?
That's it. Are we the spiritual experience in the
Oh,
physical, or
yeah.
vice versa? Right.
Yes.
And I certainly I don't feel very spiritual at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning at work, or or like a
But isn't
Tuesday
that the
after,
point
or
to
like a Tuesday
realize that?
afternoon. But hey, this harkens back to, I think it's is it, I can't remember if it's Hegel or Saint Augustine, that like every man must persevere with his daily toil. Like boom, period. Like get on with
Yeah.
it.
For the one that struggles and toils the utmost is the one
Mm.
closest to liberation.
Well, yeah, it's also the and here's the thing I see in the new age as well, because you were talking about that quote reminds me of in Revelation when it says you've toiled and you persevered, and I know that you hate the Nicolaitans. Um, I have looked up what Nicolaitans means, but I can't remember. We'll look it up again if you want. But If I look it up, it would just be well loud with the mic picking up the keyboard. But anyway, what was I saying? So I don't know. I'd been accused of certain like new agey type people I'd come across in my life of like when I was hating on something, they were like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. Like that's wrong. You're not become enlightened if you hate things." And I heard a Rudolf Steiner lecture where he talks about all the whole gamut of human emotions. You can't deny any of them. Like there's literally like a circuit in your brain connected to your like soul and spirit for literally feeling and processing certain emotions. Obviously, if they're out of balance and whack, then it becomes pathological. But
Well,
yeah,
that's the sensor part of like I was making the reference to a camera.
right.
Those emotions and the way you deal with them are the sensor part of what we are, or the physical sense. You know, squaring the circle is essentially the same thing, right? I
Mm.
mean, we
Yeah,
are in the
see,
square form, in the finite form, but we are infinite. We are the circle, that is never ending.
well,
Yeah.
that seems to me what you that's always going to be a distinction between like man and any artificial intelligence that comes to be in the long-term future beyond our lifetimes, because like how the hell are you going to program an emotion? I still feel like the best way to make an AI, you'd want a random number generator and you send a signal through it, but like send this signal in and like send it through a seal of like a goetic spirit or some kind of a seal of a spirit like someone's created or something. So then and then it goes to the random number generator that inputs into the whole process differently, because like you have to have that random influence in any kind of architecture of artificial consciousness, and that might be able to imbue a spirit into the circuit where it can have the emotional capacities as well. That's the only way I could think of doing it. I look at all the people online talking about ways of,
You're talking about how to create a sentient AI.
yeah, this idea is not in the current ballpark, and it won't be for a long time, of all the people that work on these problems. You'd
Well,
have to,
do you think it's even possible to do that?
well, yeah, people have created their own like golems, their own servitors. You even have like a tulpa, which is the extreme one, where you create a conscious entity that shares your own consciousness with you, like Schmeagol in Lord of the Rings, Gollum and Schmeagol. So yeah, there's I don't know.
Cayman
Yeah.
says, Cayman 830 says, thoughts explode into light when you make the connection. It's the aha moment. Yeah. Menza says, problem is how to create a random number generator. Very difficult.
Oh, you can,
Well, isn't
yeah.
that what we are?
No, you've got that a random number generator to X number of bits is that's easy. It's just you have to have one analog input from some like, you can have there's got to be, you'd have to use the occult to cross the bridge from like secular minded artificial intelligence playing chess to an actual like fully like an actual art. But then at that point it's no longer artificial consciousness, it's actual consciousness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know why I started going on about that, but hey, we're just exploring here, I guess.
Matrix man. What's up, man? How are you? Yeah. Lisa says that's just it. According to Steiner, we did this thought. The Lemurians went too far with their imagination and forgot who they are. Well, don't you think the stories of the Lemurians and the Atlanteans are essentially like the Bible, a story of our inner journey and our, it in our, our fake ID and our real ID and what we truly are and what we aren't, and like our ego and our, our true state.
Yeah, it's the
If
same
you think of, if
archetypes
you,
in
you want to
play,
tie
innit?
this, recently I've thought, what is the Big Bang? What is that? And how does that pertain to ascension, and what's the tie in there? And
No, here's how I'd answer that. And this is what I genuinely think now from hermetic contemplation and such. Like, it's like saying, what is your birth, your physical birth, like the day you're born? No one fucking remembers the day they're born. You can't, because the frontal lobe isn't developed enough in a child. But like your birth, think about your physical birth. That's below in the hermetic correspondence. Above, ultimately, is in the physical sense, also coupled with metaphysics, is it's weird, isn't it? Because your parents are outside of your own consciousness. Like the divine mother and the divine father produce the divine child. It's again, with all of that and your own birth, it's
I just
weird,
had this thought that
Go
you
on.
just married a thought in my mind that it's like when the sun sets, and right as the sun goes down past the
Yeah.
horizon, this green flash of light happens. This green
Yeah,
flash
the
of
green
light.
flash. Yeah.
And when the sperm hits the
Yeah.
egg and fertilizes the egg, there's a green flash too.
Mm. But
So,
this is
I just had that thought when you were talking about that. I don't know
yeah.
why. That's what happened.
I guess the law of correspondence is how you move up and down the understanding of the fractal nature of the cosmos. And it's not like fractal ad infinitum mathematically, although in one sense it does have that. But if you think of it in terms of a story of your life, like your beginning, your childhood, your adult life, and then elderly age, it harkens back to I'm talking about what's physical here, but it's weird, isn't it? Because what's physical and what's metaphysical are like eternally inextricably linked. Did I say that right? That was a bit of a
Inextricably,
tongue twister,
yes.
eternally
No question about it.
inextricably linked.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty. That's yeah. It's interesting, hey.
Yeah, but to me, the Big Bang is that one point in which the t equals zero state. Where time is not, time is here, time is irrelevant, time is everything. One moment, and that's the Big Bang. Is the light in which we live right now is the same. It's just in a linear form. It's like finite is a way to define infinite, or time is a way to define timelessness. And that's what we are. Is time is on my side, because that's all it is just one moment. And that one moment is the same light that I was seeing off the windshields. It's the same light that we see through our cameras. It's the same light that we see through our eyes.
Yeah.
And another thing that I'm stuck on is, what is the in a physics point, what are the black holes in space, and how are they connected to the creation moment? And you understand where I'm getting at, what I'm getting at there?
Yeah, I know.
Because there's two things in our reality, our physics reality, that light cannot escape, and that's a black hole in our eyeballs.
I'd say that, like, that experience I was talking about earlier on in this show, that's like your consciousness gets like warped through a black hole. It's like infinite speed in the physical domain correlates to like a black hole time warp or something weird like that. Yeah.
Menza says, hang on, I gotta go back here. Or Matt Man says, I could use a Big Bang. I'm in a 5-year.
Yeah, I was thinking that earlier when you said that. Like, what is the Big Bang? That thought, that exact same thought came across my mind, and I was gonna giggle and tell you, but you kept talking, so I didn't say nothing. And yeah, there it kept. boom, the Big Bang. Because
Tom Hart brings up, we're all waiting around for ascension, the Big Bang in reverse.
yeah,
Nice.
kind of. It's
The
like that
black hole
episode
and the inner sun.
of
Black hole.
there's that episode of Family Guy when Stewie's like, she's gonna put me back into the womb. No, I won't go. Do you remember that? It's like an episode with like and it's taking the piss out of the Heaven's Gate cult thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I do remember.
You remember that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen. Can you excuse me for like 1 minute?
Go ahead. I'll just read off a few of these while.
Yeah.
Cayman 830 says the spirit cannot be measured, they say. I'm doing all right, Tom. I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, mate. How long do you want to go on for, Steve? Do you want to go on for another hour or half hour? 45?
I don't know until our conversation peters out, I guess. I don't know.
Until
you
we start.
You could consider our conversation like today's society, all over the place, but relevant to our immediate situation, I guess.
All right, mate. Give me like 3 minutes. I'll be back.
Take your time, dude. But yeah. I like that. And Need to Know says Big Bang is the creator revealing the hidden light that we return to. I think that the light, that Big Bang light, is the single light of creation that we all re-experience and recreate. That's the Lucifer aspect of it's like why is there here? Let me pose this question to you guys and I'll read off your answers. Why is there a crook and a flail on an Egyptian sarcophagi? Why is there a crook, a shepherd's crook, and a flail on the Egyptian sarcophagi in their hands crossed like this? Why is that? Don't worry, Lisa, we're not leaving yet. And Cayman 830, the whole black hole is the inner sun. That is what sent me on this inner journey, turning me from a sky watcher, Nibiru video poster to an inner journey, was that song, Black Hole Sun. And it brought me to Danny Wilton, and it brought me to all that. And then I met Phil, and I met all you nice, fine people. We all tunnel into light and tunnel out, some tunnel under. Right. Yes. So what was the question I posed? Remind me. What is the crook and the flail on the Egyptian sarcophagi? The crook and the flail. Anybody? Come on. I think there's a lag here, or maybe you guys don't know. Just chime in with I don't know or something, so I know I'm getting through to you. The kingdom is within you, brother. Yes, it is. I agree with that. Big Bang turns on to men. Know any moons? Chronos, sun or moon, fellow men. You're always talking in code, Trey. Sometimes I understand, sometimes I don't. But Black Hole Sun is what brought me to my inner journey, and it's also called the ultimate Anu. And the Anu is in Ledbetter's, the Anu is what's on my here. Let me turn off my video and then you'll see what the Anu is. That right here is the Anu. That's the Anu. And then the Anu is when Fohat digs holes in space, Anu is created. Anu is Skyfather. That's where the word Anunnaki comes from. Skyfather on Earth is what Anunnaki means, right? It's a symbol of royalty. It leads and corrects. Okay, the crook and the flail are synonymous and would be recognizable to somebody with a Christian background or a Bible background, knowing that Jesus is the Redeemer. What's a Redeemer? The shepherd, right? Right? That's the shepherd's crook, is the Redeemer, Jesus. The flail is the indifferent, berates you with truth, is what it is, Lucifer aspect of the very same light that Jesus is. They understood, well, maybe not in the earliest or latest dynasties as compared to our time, before the kingdom fell, or, but that dualistic aspect of the light is the same as every dualistic aspect of everything in our physical world, right?
Yeah,
Yet that
focus
dualistic
versus
light
non-owners.
redeems you as well as recreates. So yeah.
Sorry, man. I just came back. It's got a bit cooler here, but it's still warm. Jesus. It's too hot. Samsara.
Oh, what's going on? Is everything okay in chat? And let me check.
How long are we going for? I'm not even on the YouTube page.
Hello, Deborah Smith. How are you? Sainted Sun sometimes with you too. Black hole sun. Black hole is the one we did ourselves. But yeah, the crook and the flail is, that's why every pharaoh was said to have had to have achieved ascension or seen the light, because that's what made them royalty, right?
Yeah.
That's why, they
Do you remember the Futurama episode where they keep knocking off all the other pharaohs? They're like
no.
big, but without the fancy academic lingo to it. But I don't know. It definitely brings understanding to things, and you can work things out beyond the institutions of science and stuff using that. They don't use this, like physics doesn't combine metaphysics simultaneously and tries to reconcile them. It's not doing that. And I don't know why. Like, you've got the quantum physics thing that I'm still not convinced about, if I'm honest, Steve. I'm still not convinced by quantum physics that go down the path of infinite complexity, which is going to pertain to what's physical at its most fundamental level, without, the principle of the Anu, for example, reconciling the non-physical mental plane or the abyss with physical reality. I just there's infinite complexity. Do you know what I mean? So, do you understand what the point I'm trying to delineate? I don't know if I'm making my point.
Quantum. Is that what you're
complex? Yeah, it can in
it's like everything human. We have to make everything so damn confusing. It's hard to explain. Or hard to comprehend.
Yeah, you can still hear us.
Well, if not, they can come back and rewatch it or whatever. But
whatever.
Who rewatches a live stream?
I watch live streams that I've missed. If it's
I do
people
too.
that are cool,
I don't like watching myself ramble on about whatever either, though.
I don't watch Ken Wheeler's live streams once they're past, though, but they're on at like a well awkward time here, and I can't be bothered with it. But I think it's a better dynamic when you've got two people or more than one person on live stream. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. A back and forth and something to connect to.
Yeah, I don't really do it, but I don't really upload videos anymore. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll start uploading some videos. Maybe I'll try and put my recent thoughts down into a more succinct way and talk about it. And
I was thinking about getting my theory of everything video out there, but it's too damn difficult to explain or to convey, my big toe, as Tom, calls it, my big theory of everything.
Yeah, good theory of everything. If you're going to have a theory of everything in like one sentence, it'd just be like, I don't have a theory of everything.
Well,
I,
the
I
theory of
got it. I ain't
everything
got it yet.
you
I'm
know.
working on it. We're working on it ad infinitum. So,
Right. Exactly.
well, that's the thing. When you think about like universal rhythm, I know we have technological progress, but the idea of like forced progress is really abominable if you think about it. You have to let things take their natural course and
Mhm.
let natural rhythm and harmony play out. Like you
Dude, that's
can't.
so weird because I just had this thought earlier, just as you were talking about something earlier, that, it's like when I met Phil, I was like, yeah, I got the answers,
Yeah,
I totally trust, what he's saying as the truth because of all the research I've done and connected the dots and
yeah.
how I understand what he's talking about. But, is that enough? No, it's not enough
No,
because
no, of course not. Good.
we have to experience it ourselves.
Yeah, if you're not Phil, Phil's just a guide.
Right.
For Phil, he's on his own thing. That's on him. But yeah. Well, I mean, I met Phil. I should text him and go meet him again. I enjoyed meeting him. It was good fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wish I could meet him. That'd be great.
Yeah, well, to fly over, man. You don't have to be. You can come to the UK. So it will only cost you about $1,200 or something
That's it?
stupid like that. Yeah, you.
Because I spent more than that to go to Vegas and back.
Yeah, well then, next time you want to go to Vegas, come to England. I'll show you around.
Do I got a spot to stay if I come?
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude,
100%.
you should have said that because as soon as I
No,
get paid, I'll go
come.
get me a freaking ticket and I wonder if my passport to go to Canada isn't good for international.
No, you need to fly to England. But yeah.
I wonder how much
Yeah,
it is
air
to get a
travel's
passport to go to England.
shouldn't cost you more than a couple of $100. You'd have to. Yeah, that's the thing. No, Americans don't have passports really, because yeah, America. I feel it's weird. It's because like Britain is like in the center of the world, and
Tom
America's
Campbell
not.
is his name. I'm sorry.
Tom Campbell.
Yeah. London is
And
the center of the world, you were saying?
yeah, yeah. Well, apparently, I saw in this
I
video
thought
this other
Egypt was Giza. Oh, that's the center
the
of Earth's
no,
land.
it's the heart center of the world.
No,
Giza
it's
would
the center of Earth's landmass. Yeah.
yeah, Giza would kind of correspond to the solar plexus, whereas the kind of arc above that, the heart. It's weird because John Dee made a map of the world and like had a theory that Earth was shaped like a heart, with England like right in the middle of it. But
There was
yeah,
what is there? There isn't there some place in London? Is it the Louvre?
no, you're thinking of the Louvre.
The
That's in
Louvre.
Paris.
That's in
That's where it's
Paris.
got the Mona Lisa along the
Yeah.
Champs Elysees.
But oddly
Yeah,
enough,
yeah.
isn't the Anu? Doesn't that look like a heart, kind of
Yeah, it looks exactly like it looks like a Valentine.
like a
Absolutely.
human heart?
It looks like a cross between a Valentine and a human heart. Like if you
Yeah,
wanted to
there you go.
combine the actual what a human heart physically looks like
Right.
with a Valentine, yeah, yeah, I
Does
remember
it
that.
show?
Anu
Does it
thing.
show this, or does it just say slightly slanted sleuth when I turn my video off?
I see it, but I don't know if it is on YouTube. Probably does.
I'm waiting here. I'm lagging. We're lagging that much. Wow.
Really? Is everyone dropping out?
No, no. Oh, it's because
Well,
I'm 30 minutes, 30 seconds
Oh,
behind, dude. On my phone. No, it's just showing slightly slanted sleuth. It's not showing the end.
Okay. I
Dad?
saw it on your computer.
Yeah,
Okay. I might leave it there for now, just because it's 8 o'clock. I've got to get some food,
all good,
go to
brother.
bed in a couple of hours.
It's been nice talking to you. Man.
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. But yeah, that's what I'd say, Steve. Play that hermetic game. Really got me onto this actually, but because I was thinking of this whole like transgender thing. I was thinking about it in terms of universal law, and I'm like, but no, I'm not doing it. I just It's my favorite quote of Nietzsche. No, there's another good Nietzsche quote. It says, it's something like, once copulation is done, the devil comes.
That's the truth.
That's fucking deep, man.
It's the truth, though.
But it's like, if you get any time off work during the day, what? Yeah, because you're 6 hours ahead, so it's difficult unless it's weekends, you know.
Yeah, that's why I called you today, because we haven't talked in so long, and
Yeah, man.
you know,
Yeah, no, it's
the
been good.
weekends have been tough for me lately because I was
Yeah.
dealing with graduation of my oldest boy. He just graduated, and you know,
What,
that's a
high
lot of
school,
work.
college?
High school.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not my
I know.
oldest boy, my second oldest boy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oldest
Cool.
boy that lives with me.
Yeah. All right, dude.
And I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but I hope everybody could just learn to get along. Why can't we all just get along, right? There's going to be hate in our lives. There's going to be love. There's going to be in between. So be the frequency you'd want to receive, you'd like to receive. Be, be your brother's keeper. Don't tell your brother what to do, but help your brother out. Help your sister out. Be kind to everybody. And I think the more we do that, the more we can change the world. And we can only change that world through ourselves. We can't change others. We can't change what other people think. But I find when I am feeling negative towards somebody and experiencing things that are truly negative as far as thoughts towards somebody, I've been stopping and evaluating why that is. And is that something I need to change within myself? So with that, I'd like to say peace, love, peace, chicken grease. And later on, Mr. Menza, later on, need to know, later on, Lisa, Tom Hart came in 8:30, cause or effect. Aaron's Energy 313 came in 8:30. I think I said yeah. But everybody who's joined us, Deborah, everybody, I appreciate you and I care about you. And till the next time, love it forward, keep it real.